You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Welcome to the Doug Bellcast. And now, here is your host, the star of Ring My Bell, Doug Bell. Hey, you know who it is, and you know what the time is. I'm Doug Bell, and it's the Ring My Bell podcast, which it's getting like buku chatter. People are talking about it. So mucho respect. Thanks a lot for I passed a bunch of downloads and stuff, and people are like just stopped me in the street. The guy I was walking by, he didn't stop me, but he's like points at me, like that. And I'm like, that guy must be like a Bellcast fan, I didn't want to make a big deal of it, but I could tell he was like fan. It's funny. I was hungry today, right? And it reminded me of I'm not good with diets. A lot of people look at me and they're like, Bell, you held up all right, but like $1 million. I always said if you want to, look like $1 million if you want to make $1 million. I would always say that to people. They'd be like, come on, Bell. And I would be like, hey, you want to make $1 million? You got to dress like $1 million. I would tell them every time, you got to dress for success, cause just, whatever it makes you like your best self. I said to some people. And but diets are always tough. Me, Bell, you give me a cup of Sanka and a piece of cheesecake. That's what I like. Nice cup of room temperature to cool Sanka. I like a nice cup of Sanka and a nice sliver of cheesecake. But Sanka's got to be almost cold, like a nice room temperature, almost cold cup of Sanka. That's a good drink, especially after you run a little bit, but you put some Sanka in your thermos, take it. No caffeine, it's good for you, But I'm not, I don't like the diet. I just don't like it. My friend Jen goes, she goes, I eat one potato chip. And I walk away. I go, what? Get the hell out of here. She goes, nah, Bell, I'm telling you, I eat one potato chip and I walk away. I go, come on, Jen. No, you don't. And she did it. She has they were like the kettle chips, the kettle chips. Those are nice, little kettle chips. I had a bowl of them, bowl. She comes over. I said, "Yeah, Jen, have one." Jen Aniston. And I go try to have one. And she picks in the bowl. She has one. I go, you better careful that Joey Kramer, I forget his name on the show, but I think I said that to her. Be careful, I said Schwimmer or something doesn't come in and grab the rest of the chips. I made like a friend's joke. She got a kick out of it. But yeah, she's really good with diets. Cause I told her, I seen her. We got a mutual friend, a guy who's he fixes cars, and he introduced us. He's like, "You love this guy." He tried to set us up, but I mean, it just wasn't for me or her. She wasn't interested at all. I think I know I wasn't. I mean, I gave it a shot. I tried a little bit. I called her for 18 months. I called her, and she finally agreed to go out and go to Starbucks. She goes, let me get a Starbucks because our mutual friend. But I'm like, but I want Sanka. I told her I got to have a nice cup of room temperature to cold Sanka. I told her. So we went to Starbucks and I just brought my Sanka in a thermos. Who am I out to impress her? There you go. I mean, you know me, bells and all, you know. So me and Jen Aniston were sitting there. But again, you know, in these moments, you gotta be like, because I know the business so well. So I think I said to her, like, this is probably, this gotta be pushing 5 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe. And I go, so you think friends will ever get back together? That was the first thing I said to her. So, because you got like, that's something that a person in the business wants to know. Because I told her like I would love to play a part in that. Because I think I'd be really good, like in you know, like I could be like the crazy cousin who comes in, like, what's going on here, Jen? Where's the, you know, get me some Sanka, G damn it, you know, like whatever. I told her that. I'm like, it would be so funny. Or I could be like the crazy tough neighbor that comes in. Hey, what's with all this friend stuff around here? Hey, what do you guys got, a big apartment? And a guy comes in and maybe you win him over with humor. I don't know. I was spitball. I was a little nervous, you know, so I was just kind of talking a lot, just throwing out like plot lines, like what I could do on the show. And she was sitting there just sipping and she's texting somebody. I'm like, it's probably, I'm like, who are you texting? I took the bell out. She asked me not to do that because people started looking, but I took the bell out. I'm like, yeah, who you texting? I think I called them Donnie Schwimmer. I'm like, who are you texting? Donnie Schwimmer, you know, and I'm like, she's drinking her coffee fast too. I'm like, it's hot, Jen. Oh, easy. I think I said that too. I threw that at her. I go, easy. She says, all right, Belle. But she had to go. She had something, I think, to do. I don't know what, but she didn't tell me before that she had this. But Jen's a good girl. We're going to probably go out again, I think. Like, a coffee date only lasted, I won't say 9 minutes, but it was fun, man. She enjoyed it. It's 5 years ago, but she's busy. Like she's doing shows and blah, blah. And then they did the Friends thing. So I'm like, I emailed her and I'm like, you know, I should probably get paid something for that. Cause I remember I suggested that to you, but I told her like, I don't want that to interfere with us like hanging out and blah, blah, blah. And I think I wrote, and then whatever happens, like in quotes, I kept it kind of fun, you know? And I put like a picture of a bell, like a bell emoji, so she'd know. But I don't know if she, you know, if she read it or if she didn't. But I was, I like bowling. I know a lot of people. Yeah, I like to bowl, man. I used to go bowling all the time. I took a girl one time on a bowling date. We went down the lanes, you know. They didn't have her size in shoes. They only had two sizes too small because she had like big duck feet. And she didn't like it. I was teasing her. I had the bell with me and I'm going, wah, 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 you know, like people are cracking up. I'm like, look at her, you know, wah, 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 you know. Whatever. I had a couple of drinks. So what? Guilty. I had a couple of drinks and I'm fun. You know, she's a damn B word. Excuse my French, but I thought it was funny. She's walking around, boom, with these tight shoes on, and feet are cramped up, and I'm right behind her carrying popcorn. But anyway, it was a fun date. Like, you know, she kind of, so I got this thing I do though, like we were bowling. We bowled like 7 games. I was killing her. She wasn't very good. She was like, I think her foot started to bleed. I think I called her Kurt Schilling and she didn't get it. I was like, hey, everybody look at Schilling over there with the bleeding, I messed it up at the bleeding kneecap, but it was supposed to be like the bloody sock. And she, but I do this thing, right? Like where I walk, because I seen Face Off's a good movie. So I like to walk up to a lady and I'll just do like that thing that Travolta did, but I do like that. And she, she gagged. And I realized that my fingers smell like the inside of the bowling ball, like sweat, like that, like a belly button. That was what she said. She was like, ah, come on, Belle. It smells like a belly. She didn't call me Belle. She goes, fucking asshole. Like, I don't like to use that talk. Oh, it says Doug Bell, by the way. I'm sitting, looks like Ugg Bell. And I'm like, what am I, a shoe? A comfy shoe? Doug Bell. No, she didn't. she did not Doug Bell. She didn't dig Bell at all. She was stiff though, man. I was having fun. I mean, I'm like, I'm like, I'm on my way to fucking crazy town, and she's like just sitting there sober as a judge. So anyway, we bowled. My feet were really sore. She wanted to go home, and I met another girl at the lanes. Girls are ringing my bell fan, blah, blah, blah. And she gets jealous. I'm like, yeah, but you're not even showing me anything. And she goes, you put your fingers under my nose to smell. And then you get this other girl holding your bell. Because I got this other girl. I give her the bell. I go ahead, ring it. And my date is over there looking. And I go, yeah, that's right. What do you think of that, buckaroo? Look at this. Go ahead, babe, ring the bell. Yeah, she's ring-a-ding-dinging it, ring-a-ding-ding-a-ling it all over the lanes. So I was like pissed, but I was there with this lady, and I seen. I shouldn't tell you. I should just go, hey, looks like we got to go on an adventure. And you obviously know what I'm talking about. Lock, stock, and barrel. I mean, I seen JASE Statham. JASE Statham. I mean, that guy, what an action star. JASE is, I mean, he's so good. So I'm like, I see him over there, right? And he's bowling, and he's with a lady, right? So I walk over. I'm like, I'm just gonna do the impression. And this girl is such a stiff. She's like, don't do it, don't do it. So I walk over to the guy. I go, hey, looks like we got an adventure to go on. Looks at me, because I could tell he's like, he's looking, he's like not too sure. And then while we're standing there, waiter comes over and he goes, sir. And I go like this, my hand of God. I go, what can I do you for? I say that to the waiter. What can I do you for? I say that to be funny. Like, instead of what can I do for you? I go, what can I do you for? Because that makes a person kind of go, oh, what's this guy about? Let me check out what he's got to say. like he might, kind of like they know that you're not just a typical jablokey. You're just not like a regular jablokey kind of, whatever. So I'm sitting there. I go, what can I do you for? And I don't think Statham heard it. He would have cracked up if he would have heard it. And he goes, hey, he said something. And I go to the waiter. I talk like him. I go, I got this, Statham. I go, hey, looks like we're just doing a little bowling for adventure. I say like that. Like, I sound like him, right? And now the girl's looking because she's like, oh boy, this is going to be like, she sees the whole night's going off the rails, poor girl, she didn't know what she was in for. You get, guys like me and Stath together, forget it. Like, we hadn't met, but like, I just know we're kindred spirits, right? What can I do you for? I said the guy, and he goes, "This is a private table, sir." And I line of the century comes out of me. I go, "Well, then get the hell out of here, Sergeant." Private table. State doesn't get it. He's looking at me. I go, "State, what are you doing?" I go, "Lock, stalking, smoking barrel." I get him like that. It was funny, man. You should have seen it. I had to stop ringing the bell though. Like I honestly, because his date gets up to bowl, and I go like, "Dentures are coming. We're on a spy mission," and she bowls into the gutter. And Jason comes over and he grabs the bell and he throws it across the lane. He goes, "Get out of here." I go, "Hey, don't blame me because she's a fucking lousy bowler, buckaroo." I tell him that. I'm like, "Hey, buckaroo, she's not a good bowler. Don't give me a bunch of jazz." I told him that. I'm like, "Don't give me any jazz because she's not a good bowler." I thought we were going to get like whatever. And I don't like to fight because I don't go to jail, but I'm like, I'm going to have to walk away. I had to go get my bell because he threw it. He got a good arm. And he threw it across like 7 lanes and it landed in somebody's lane and the ball hit it and they went into the gutter and I got blamed. I had to pay for the game. It was a thing. I didn't have the money for that. My date is furious. I'm sitting there eating a Clark bar. I like Clark bars. So I'm enjoying a Clark bar, a cup of Sanka. And, they asked us to leave the bowling lane, but I go like, I didn't do anything. Fucking Mr. Fancy Hollywood over there. I'm doing the impression. And on the way out, I see the loudspeaker. They get the loudspeaker. I jump on the loudspeaker. Hand to God, it's true. And again, if I was sober, I wouldn't have done it. But I jump on the loudspeaker. I go, "Oh, it looks like somebody's over there lock, stock, and bowling." I think I said that. It was funny. Like you got to use humor, like instead of violence, you got to use your humor, and I did use my humor to kind of deflect. But I'm a big bowler. Like, so if any of you guys ever want to, like, if you got like a ring my bell strategy, because you could tell I'm looking good, I'm feeling good. My wits are like razored up and sharp, like so. Excuse me. I'm ready to go. So that's it. I just got to say, like, Statham, if you're watching, I'm sure you already know her, Dylan. And Jen Aniston, don't tell me you can eat one and walk away. Them kettle chips were good. I had about 7, 8 of them. But Jen had one. She did have one, but she snuck back. I even said that to her at the end of the night. She's walking the car. And I go, "Hey, Jen, did you get I said, what did little Lisa over there, Lisa, I think I called her Kuds, Lisa Kudrow. I go, "What did Kuds go over there and get you a few more chipperoos?" I call them chipperoos, She looks over, jumps in the car, heads back to do what she had to do. I don't know. But crazy stories, right? Like the state bowling thing. So if anybody knows Netflix people, like I say this sometimes, but please, get them, because this story, I'm going to take down show business. I got so many more stories. I haven't even cracked the beginning of the TP yet. Like there's so many of these stories I could tell. And you get Statham. Imagine if we got Statham here and he's like, "This guy's got a story to tell." I'd do the impression, he'd talk, and I would tell like that. Go ahead, we'll go back to back and they see if they know who's talking. The lock, stock, and bowling. It was funny, right? There's no way he wouldn't laugh. I'll do it. Get him on Bellcast or something. I don't know. And if you ever see Jen eating more than one chip, tell her Belle's watching. Say that to her. She'll understand. Walk over and go, "Hey, Belle wants to know what the hell's going on with you, Hey, Belle's asking, babe, what's up?" But thanks so much for support. Go over to chipperson.com. Get yourself a Belle shirt. I got the bells, the ladies, where they got the sexy little bells and Ring My Bell logo covering their I like to say it, I just the I like to say that, like it's because cunt is vulgar, or pussy lips, like those are vulgar. But you say, hey, it's covering her. They kind of like that, and it's like a little, it's funny. I said that to a girl one time. We're on a date, and I go, "Hey, what do we think? Maybe I get to take a look at your." And she goes, "What are you talking about, Belle?" I go, "We'll see." But then she left. She went to the bathroom. She never came back. But anyway, listen. I'm sure this was fun for you. It's fun for me. But like you've told a few jokes and stuff. But seriously, fly wild and stay gold, pony boy. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. You can ring Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell. Doug's bell. Ring Doug's bell.